Guess who's back? Back again. It's me! This greasy little mop. Yeah. I will one day have the time, hopefully, to actually just wash my hair. But at the moment, we are just focusing on this challenge so much so that I just can't do anything else right now. So you're just gonna have to just excuse my appearance. It's a bit warm today as well, so I just had to take my outer layer off. So apologies if I look a bit weird. But today we are on day 27, I think, of my January declutter series. So we're back in my daughter's room today because I thought about something that was in here that I needed to have a look at. So this drawer is where her pyjamas live. So her pyjamas fully consist of Bon's Wonder Suits because they are just the most fabulous pair of pyjamas. These are the only pair of pyjamas she can't actually get out of. So yeah, and they're just super stretchy and super comfy. So that is all she owns. But at the back of this drawer is also pyjamas, but it's more seasonal ones. So like these are more summery ones. So I needed to have a look basically and see what size they were because I can't remember. Yeah, I think they are going to be all size 2s. So this is another size 2, but it's like a short sleeve one. So this is what I usually put her in for like transitional months, but this isn't her current size. She's in a size 3 now. And I don't think, as much as I'd love to put my son in this one too, I don't think it's going to work for him. So that one is gonna go, and it's going to be my number 1. Now this one is also size 2, but this one I will keep for my son because it's a bit more neutral. I don't think he's going to be in this size for a very long time, but I'm still going to keep it nonetheless because things like this, obviously they're quite expensive for 1, and 2, it's quite hard to find the short sleeve ones these days, so I am going to keep that. And then the only other 2 she has are short ones. Now this one, although it's a size 2, I feel like it's stretched quite a lot and it only realistically needs to fit her in the body. Not so much obviously leg length. Leg length is not really an issue. Let me compare it to a size 3 in the body because obviously the size 3 is what she's in now. So the crotch is literally at the same point. I'd say there's probably a centimetre in it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep hold of this one for now. And once obviously the weather warms up, I'll have to reassess and see whether she's had a growth spurt or not, and see whether that one will still fit her. Potentially we'll keep that for him, I'm not sure. And then this one is actually one my friend gave me to cut off into a like short romper. Now this one I don't think is going to last as well. I haven't like finished it off properly and I didn't get to finish the zip properly, but I just have a feeling because I've cut it off it's not going to last as well. And like I say, I don't know if she's going to have a growth spurt kind of before then anyway, you know, before the warmer weather. So I am going to get rid of that one. So that is 2. I am going to put this one in my son's wardrobe though, because like I say, I'll be keeping that one for him. Probably be for next summer, 2026, at his current growth rate. So that's all that. That's bedding. I'm sure I did this one, didn't I? But I'm going to quickly check. Yeah, it's just the coat, Tony box, which again could really go somewhere else. And then this top, which I think it will still fit her this year. So I'm keeping that because it's the only kind of swimwear-y type thing she has. I just need to get some bottoms. And then I think these ones were fine vests, tops, nursery clothes. So yeah, that is going to be the only things from here. Let's go back into my bedroom. Okay, so I'm back in my room. And I had to kind of set a few things to the side here that I knew that were going. So I got one random odd pillowcase. I think this was, again, like in yesterday's video, my husband used to take this away with him when he went away, and it just smells a bit musty, not gonna lie. So that one's safely number 3. Number 4 is actually something else that my husband actually decided that he was going to get rid of. He got this like as a Christmas gift a couple of years ago, and although it is fun, it's just kind of one of those things that you just never really get time to play it. And if you get time to yourself, like in my husband's case, he likes to play the Xbox. In my case, I like to read a book. We don't just kind of sit and play with this. I feel like it's the kind of thing that you would have at like Christmas and stuff, and you kind of play it together like as a social thing. But it's so rare that we kind of have a get together with people at Christmas now. So that's number 4 that's gonna go. And then I actually found 4 more things in my makeup stash downstairs. Now it's gonna seem like I've got rid of all my beauty stuff, all my makeup, all of just everything, but no, like the reality is I put some makeup on this morning. When I put it on, I went in those drawers and it wasn't, I didn't have to like kind of fish around for one. I didn't have to think about anything. It was just like so simple, as is my skincare routine now. Like everything, like I have it for a purpose, and yeah, it's just made such a difference. Anyway, I digress. The 4 things that I'm decluttering are: 1, this rather crappy looking spoolie, this rather filthy looking sponge, an old mascara that's empty, and I don't know what you call this, matte lip butter from the Body Shop. I got this when they were like matte lip liquids or whatever they were called, and I absolutely loved this shade, this Nairobi Camellia. So I rebought it, even though it kind of like changed name and stuff, and it's just not the same. For one, it's clearly more liquidy because it's all kind of round there where it's been laying down, and two, it just doesn't dry down as much as it used to. So yeah, I've actually had this open since I was pregnant again with my son, so I'm just going to quit while I'm ahead now. I just literally have a lip balm. I think I've got 2. I've got one upstairs and one downstairs, like clear lip balms, and one more like, well, it's very similar to this like in terms of colour, but it's actually like a matte lipstick thing that actually dries down. So I've got that, and I'm happy with that as my only lip wear options. So that makes 8, I think we said. Yeah, 4 makeup-y items and 4 others. So I'm not entirely sure not sure where to go next, really. I don't know. Actually no, I have one thing that I did set to the side, which technically is going to go to a family member's house. So this is a waterproof cot bed sheet. So the cot bed mattress that we had before has gone to my dad's house, so that when me and Enzo do go down there at kind of random periods, he uses it as a floor bed. He just has the mattress on the floor, and this is just the waterproof kind of cover for it. So I'm decluttering it out of my house. It's going to my dad's house. But yeah, so that is number 9. Now, I'm going to have to consult my list now. I had a random little list that I've accumulated to, what's the word? To like kind of go back to if I couldn't think of anything else. So there is actually a few things downstairs. So what are we on today? 27. So 7, 8, 9. Alexa, are 3 9s 27?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with
Alexa, what's 3 times 9?
3 times 9 is 27.
There we go, that's what I asked. I need another 9 things. Okay, so I'm rather out of breath. Apologies. But I've got the remaining 18 items from downstairs. So the first kind of collection of things is very much one thing focused, and those of you among us that may be around my age will recognise a lot of these. I think most of you probably are around my sort of age. or would at least know that these are Game Boy games. So we actually have 11 games. 12 is this, I think it's a link cable, I think is what it's called. 13 is the bag that all aforementioned things are in. 13. 14, again, Game Boy related, is this magnifying thing that you used to put on the front. And you know what, I can show you. I can show you, my friends, how this would work. Because another thing we are decluttering is this Game Boy Color. So we have one, not just one, of course we don't just have one. We have one Game Boy Color, and then we have two original Game Boys. I think my husband was having a faff with these the other day to see if they actually still worked. I think one of them definitely does. One of them he managed to get to work. Now this is the original colour. This one has very much kind of been sun faded, or whatever you want to call that. He did try and clean it, but that wasn't going to work with the kind of things that we have to clean it with. So we have a further 3 items in Game Boys. So number 18 and number 19 are 2 drinks receptacles. This one is my husband's. I think the straw went mouldy, or the mouthpiece thing went mouldy, so he wanted to declutter that. And then I wanted to declutter my son's bottle that he has milk out of. He was using this literally until yesterday, but I bought him the Munchkin like straw thing, the one with the like straw that you can open up, today, and I put milk in it and he drank from it. So I was like, do you know what, we're taking the opportunity to get rid of this thing, because although the bottle's absolutely fine, so I'm going to pass this on because it is the only bottle my breastfed son actually took milk from in the end, but the actual teat, he's like bit it or ripped it or whatever, and like the actual hole in it has widened too much more than it should, so that is safely going to go in the bin. The next 5 things again are kitchen related, and I kind of oversaw the Tupperware cupboard, which is where these were, in my kind of kitchen declutters, because I already had that amount of items that covered 2 videos alone. So I didn't even need to go in that cupboard really in the end. I think I got one thing out of there, but then I was thinking to myself the other day, I think my mum actually mentioned sandwich cutters, and I'd bought them, and then I got them out when she said about it, and I was like, do you know what, these aren't very good. They're very thin plastic, there's quite a few like kind of chips in the plastic, and it just doesn't fill me with much hope, and yeah, I just don't really like the idea of actually using them. Like I say, I haven't used them for a long time. When I did, it was literally only a handful of times. But I'm going to just chuck those in the bin. Okay, so the next thing, a bit random, it's a potato masher. I finally, a couple of weeks ago, got what I've been wanting to purchase for a long time to make mashed potato, and it's a potato ricer, because I hate hand mashing anything. So I am very happily getting rid of this thing. Goodbye, my friend, not my lover. And then the last thing that was kind of in the kitchen that I'm getting rid of is this tin. It was a biscuit tin that we got for Christmas. Quite a nice tin, but I just don't need another tin. Tin, 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 tin. Now, again, if my math serves me correctly, we are on to number 27, which is again something probably very nostalgic for a lot of you here. It's a talk boy. Yes, like the one that Macaulay Culkin used in Home Alone. Again, not 100% sure if it actually still works or not. I don't even know how to open it. It has no batteries in anyway, so we're not going to try and open it and see if it works, but this is going. This, the Game Boy, the games, and all of those kind of nostalgic paraphernalias were actually in my Alex drawers. They were in the bottom drawer that I didn't go into when I done my desk declutter, because I said they're all my husband's things, I'm not going to touch them. He has basically decided it couldn't all go. finally. And I had to wait for his confirmation to know that he wanted to get rid of them so I can do something about it. So a lot of these things, like the Game Boys and stuff, if they still work, I'm going to stick them on eBay and stuff. These things are going in the bin. The tin's going in the recycling. This thing, I don't know where it's going to go. And the bottle's going in the bin. And everything else, I'm going to figure out. The makeup's going to go to recycling. The Wonder Suit's going to go on eBay. Vintage. The sheet is going to go to my dad's house. And the flip game is probably going to be handed on our local hand-me-on group. So that concludes day 27 of my January declutter series. Thank you again to all of you who have kind of stuck along for the ride, watched every single video. I really do appreciate you. So I'm going to love you and leave you for now. Hopefully, if I've managed to time this right, we're going to have a video up every day this week. I'm really committing to doing that because I've said it twice now. So fingers crossed I can pull it off. But thank you nonetheless, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.